those words into practice. The inauguration has been set for this coming Sunday. Elaine Cobb, CBS News, Paris.
North Carolina's Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler says he is optimistic about the approach the Trump administration will take toward the nation's farm community after a recent meeting with the president and other industry leaders at the White House. He says there are some key priorities.
Immigration reform being the number one topic agreed on by all of us, and we had a very fruitful discussion with the president on the need for farm labor.
The man accused of killing two doctors inside a luxury Boston condominium over the weekend is expected to be arraigned today on multiple charges. Police have not stated a motive, but say the suspect probably knew his victims, and that's how he got into the building, according to one neighbor.
It's a very safe area. It's a very safe building. The security is really safe. It's very hard to get into the building, so I was shocked.
The weather is improving, so most of us are getting outside, and so are the snakes. A warmer winter is cause for increased snake activity and more bites. Dustin Smith is the curator of amphibians, fish, and reptiles at North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro and says many snake bites come from copperhead.
That accounts for something like 80+% of the bites in North Carolina. But with copperheads, their venom is actually the least toxic of any venomous snake in the United States.
You're listening to NCN News.
Welcome to Smithfield's. May I help you, please?
Yes, I'd like to order a barbecue sandwich and a chicken tender sandwich and 2 teas.
We can add fries to that and make it a value pack. May I do that for you, please?
Sure.
Okay, so I have a barbecue sandwich value pack and a jumbo tender sandwich value pack and 2 sweet teas. Do I have your order correct, please?
Yes.
We're preparing it fresh right now. Please pull forward.
Whether it's a fast lunch or a quick dinner, we look forward to seeing you soon.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Get ready for a totally new type of museum experience at the North Carolina Museum of History's groundbreaking new exhibit, North Carolina and World War I. Wind your way through a life-size trench system with 8-foot walls, a reproduction field hospital, floor-to-ceiling murals, historic film footage and interactive video, plus over 500 artifacts on display. Don't miss your chance to step into the shoes of a Tar Heel soldier from 100 years ago. It's free and now open at the North Carolina Museum of History in downtown Raleigh.
3 people have been charged after a 3-car crash that saw a passenger steal the vehicle of a Good Samaritan who stopped to help. North Carolina Highway Patrol officials say the crash happened in Wake County around 2 a.m. on Sunday. The average price of gasoline nationwide dropped 5 cents over the past 2 weeks.
The latest Lundberg survey puts the average price of a gallon of regular grade gasoline at $2.41. Industry analyst Trilby Lundberg says that's unusual for May.
This time of year, our demand builds into the warmer months, the longer daylight hours, benign weather, and because it costs more for refiners to make summer blend gasoline than winter blend.
Lundberg says the low cost of crude oil is the major factor and could result in further drops.
The likelihood of a further price drop at the pump is greater than the possibility of a rise. At any rate, unless there's a crude oil emergency, we won't see a spike.
The current national average of $2.41 is 14 cents above the price a year ago. I'm Ben Thomas.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opens at number 1 at the box office.
So we're saving the galaxy again?
Yep. After a $17 million opening night, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 rocketed past the first film's debut numbers, earning an estimated $145 million for the weekend. The first Guardians film was a surprise blockbuster, transforming a little-known band of Marvel superheroes into household names.
What's that?
He says, welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fate of the Furious drops to second after dominating the box office for 3 weeks, and Boss Baby continues to attract an audience. It climbs back up to third. How to Be a Latin Lover is fourth, while Beauty and the Beast is showing some staying power, returning to the...
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A new test for the Trump travel ban. A federal appeals court will hear arguments today about the revised order on immigration.
The federal appeals court is being asked to weigh the words on paper against the words President Trump has spoken. The government argues the executive order is a needed pause in some immigration so the U.S. can evaluate security. A judge has blocked the order, though, based on what the president has said during the campaign about a Muslim ban.
ABC's Aaron Katersky. President Trump readying a slate of conservative jurists to fill federal judgeships across the country.
President Trump's expected today to unveil a list of 10 federal court nominees, the first effort by his White House to fill more than 120 vacancies. The New York Times first reported the planned announcement. The court picks must be confirmed by the Senate. Conservative groups are already heaping praise on the names that have been floated. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Also today, a Senate panel hears from the former acting attorney general who first spoke up about the conversations that former NSA Director Michael Flynn had with the Russian ambassador.
They will question Sally Yates, President Obama's deputy attorney general and former acting attorney general under President Trump, as well as James Clapper, director of national intelligence under President Obama. Expect the process to be long and slow.
ABC's Maggie Ruley. Lawmakers back in their districts over the weekend and talking about the health care bill. Members of the Senate also discussing the plan that's now up to them to change.
Maine Senator Susan Collins told George Stephanopoulos she's concerned about people with pre-existing conditions.
It's true that under the House bill that a state that gets a waiver would still have to provide coverage to people with pre-existing conditions, but that coverage might well be unaffordable.
The Senate takes up the bill next.
ABC's David Wright. European markets had a strong positive reaction to the landslide victory of centrist Emmanuel Macron in the presidential election in France. You're listening to ABC News.
Prices are for base buildings only, do not include windows, doors, or accessories. The economic recovery we've all been waiting for is finally here. Stocks are soaring, and construction spending across America has been on the rise. If you've been waiting to build, the time is now. Whether you want to expand your business or you want to build a new garage, call General Steel today at 888-98 Steel. Our metal building kits bolt together quickly and are custom designed for your needs. For example, a 40x60 is a great space for an auto shop, RV and camper storage, or 3-car garage. And if you call General Steel today, it's on sale now for under $25,000. Or imagine a 50x100 clear span building for under $40,000. Suitable for the booming warehousing industry, manufacturing facilities, or a church sanctuary. That's 5,000 square feet for $8 or less per foot. Call 888-98 Steel. 888-98 Steel. With construction and high demand, this special pricing won't last long. Call to lock your building price today. Call 888-98 Steel. That's 888-987-8335.
There were some protests outside the governor's mansion in Austin, Texas last night after Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill into law banning so-called sanctuary cities in the state. Abbott on Facebook listing the threats against local law enforcement if they don't go along with immigration officials.
There were questions.
Maine Senator Susan Collins
imposes penalties up to $25,000 per day, and it can lead to jail time and removal from office for any official who refuses to comply with the ban on sanctuary cities.
The law also allows people to ask about their immigration status during a lawful detention, even for minor infractions like jaywalking. Former President Obama discussed health care last night when he was presented with an award in Boston.
Hello, everybody. With his successor and members of Congress working to repeal his signature legislation, former President Obama was honored in Boston, in part for passing the Affordable Care Act.
There was a reason why health care reform had not been accomplished before. It was hard.
The former president presented with the Profile and Courage Award at the John F. Kennedy Library. He didn't criticize Republicans or mention President Trump by name in his half-hour speech. Brian Clark, ABC News.
There were a lot of town hall meetings over the weekend as well. School officials in Colorado are investigating allegations that a Spanish teacher at Roosevelt High in Johnstown, Colorado, let students hit a piñata with a picture of President Trump on it for Cinco de Mayo. This is ABC News.
My son had been injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug Free.
You know, Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale, has been part of the family for years. Your granddad, your dad, and now this generation is depending on the great inventory, excellent service, and better pricing. Listen to some of these items we need probably right about now. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 a bag. Dog food, fire and ant killer in spray and granular, flea and tick prevention, carpenter bee traps, weed killer, and so much more. Go see Scott and his team today at 770 Oakland Road, Spindale, and keep the family tradition going.
We'll see mainly sunny skies around the area today with breezy conditions and mild temperatures. We'll look for low humidity again with highs about 70 to 75. Overnight tonight, clear in the evening, but clouds will be increasing by morning and will be cool with lows in the 40s. Looks like we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies Tuesday. We do have a chance of some sprinkles or showers tomorrow and a range of temperatures. Highs should range from low 60s in the north to around 80 in southernmost parts of the state. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. This is the 8th day of May. It's 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're starting out cool this morning, 44 degrees. Expected to get up to around 73 for a daytime high, and wind gusting to 19 miles per hour. Now, the rain's coming back to the forecast tomorrow. Every day this week, there is a slight chance of some scattered thunder showers. And we'll keep watching that. Wednesday, about 40% chance, 70% on Friday, and Saturday, 40% chance of showers. So we'll keep watching and waiting. But today, we can enjoy the beauty of the sun. It's going to be sunny today with that wind gust. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, we're glad to have you for the morning wake-up call hour number 2. This hour, we go to the phones in a few minutes and call around the neighborhood to find out what's been happening over the weekend, from the Sheriff's Department to the fire departments around the area, and we'll let you know by tuning in right here to AM 590 and Northland Cable Channel 5, and we're streaming this signal on the World Wide Web right now at www.wcab59.com. Now I have these death announcements. Martha Cole Griswold Whitener, age 95, of Rutherfordton, died Thursday at Willow Ridge Rehabilitation and Living Center. The family will receive friends from 5 until 7 Friday, May 12th at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at West Memorial Baptist Church at 2 o'clock Saturday, May 13th, with Reverend Charlie Melton and Reverend Alan Bean officiating. The body will lie in state 30 minutes prior to the service at the church. Burial will be at West Memorial Baptist Church Cemetery. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Martha Cole Griswold Whitener. Ronnie Jones, age 69, of Forest City, died Friday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. The family will receive friends from 2 until 3 o'clock today at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Funeral Home Chapel at 3 o'clock today. Burial will be at Rutherfordton City Cemetery with military honors given by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. And McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services will be in charge of those arrangements for Ronnie Jones of Forest City. Vernon Badger Epley, age 92, of Rutherfordton, passed away Saturday at Holly Springs Senior Citizens Home. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 o'clock Tuesday, May 9th at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Funeral Home Chapel at 2 o'clock Tuesday, with Reverend Wayne Toney officiating. Burial will be at Shallow Baptist Church Cemetery. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services will be in charge of the arrangement for Vernon Badger Epley of Rutherfordton. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. You can get the complete information on these and others as they become available to us. Today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on the Most Information for the Foothills, WCAB in Rutherfordton. Let me give you another couple of items heads up this morning. The Animal Control Services will be hosting a rabies clinic May the 10th. That's Wednesday at the shelter at 578 Laurel Hill Drive, Rutherfordton, from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Prices will be $5 for a 1-year rabies vaccine. Dogs and cats must be 3 months of age or older. There have been 2 positive rabies cases confirmed this year. Rabies vaccines are required by law for any dog and cat or ferret 3 months or older. This is a great time to get your pet street legal. Again, that's May the 10th at the shelter, animal shelter at Laurel Hill Drive, Rutherfordton, from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
In December 2015, San Francisco resident Pedro Figueroa Zarceno reported his car stolen. When he came for the police report, Immigration and Customs Enforcement was notified because Pedro is here illegally from El Salvador. He was picked up. He spent 2 months in federal immigration detention. Now Pedro is suing San Francisco. His lawyer, Saria Hussein, says as a victim of crime, Pedro Figueroa was exactly the type of person who should have been protected by San Francisco's sanctuary ordinance, because Trump is promising mass deportations and threatening sanctuary cities, she says. Everyone in law enforcement must be held accountable. No, she does not see the irony in asking for law enforcement to be accountable. This woman's a liberal. Incidentally, Pedro was flagged because he had an outstanding warrant. He was supposed to be deported 10 years ago. He also has a drunk driving conviction. Now, he's demanding monetary damages. He also wants to force San Francisco police to file immigration paperwork stating that he was falsely imprisoned. This could make him eligible for a visa. Meanwhile, San Francisco is investigating the officers who handled Pedro's case to see if they should be punished. Now, unless something changes, Mr. Zarceno can assume that his lawsuit against the city will be resolved before immigration catches up with him again. They're backlogged over 2 years. The system needs fixing, not later, but right now. Imagine that I only gave you part of a news story. It'd be pretty hard to follow, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when you rely on your credit card and bank statements to protect your identity. I mean, sure, your bank can help detect credit card fraud, but not the many other ways your identity can be stolen, like when somebody opens a new account or applies for an online loan in your name. That's why there's LifeLock. LifeLock uses technology to alert you to a wider range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, one of their U.S.-based specialists will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you can get more comprehensive identity protection than you can get anywhere else. Join now, get 10% off when you visit lifelock.com/rush or call them 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH. That's lifelock.com/rush and save 10%.
This is the voice of the foothills, WCAB AM 590, also on Northland Cable Channel 5, celebrating 50 years of service in Rutherford County.
Hi, this is Doug Rice. Join me every Monday night at 7 p.m. for the latest edition of Fast Talk. Jeff Gordon, first off, have you ever seen anything particularly like that in your 23 years?
Yeah, I was in the driver's seat when it happened. This is created by the intensity and what's on the line, and only people that are in that situation can understand.
Fast Talk tonight, 7 o'clock, right here at WCAB.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Get over by Washburn Store real soon and get your garden seeds that you need. Other items over there as available. Items sold in the store are locally sources. Local source as possible. USA made, North Carolina made. When in some cases they got honeys, molasses, jams, and jellies, all made local. Why don't you stop by our favorite general store? Between Bostic and Sunshine, the oldest continuously family-owned and operated retail store in North Carolina, is located right here in our hometown. Washburn General Store, between Bostic and Sunshine, on the Bostic-Sunshine Highway. Simply the place to be.
In 1875, the Indian Territory, which generally comprised of the area of Oklahoma,
was the wildest part of America. This area, designated for the 5 civilized tribes of Indians to live and rule themselves, became a great place for hard cases of all kinds to hide. Up to 100 reported murders were committed in a year, and as many more went unreported. The court system was so corrupt that the federal judge resigned just ahead of impeachment. With the federal government not knowing what to do about the lawlessness in the area, a capable man of honest character actually volunteered for the job. His name was Isaac Charles Parker. Isaac Parker was born and raised on a farm in Ohio with stern moral principles. In 1861, he got married and eventually had 2 sons. Starting out as a school teacher, Isaac studied law and became a prosecuting attorney as well as a circuit judge. Seeking more challenges, he got himself elected to the U.S. Congress. While a congressman, Isaac served as a member of the House Committee on Indian Affairs. His concern about the plight of the Indian resulted in his colleagues dubbing him the Indian's best friend. Isaac heard about the federal judgeship in the Indian Territory, and he volunteered for the position. On May 2, 1875, Isaac, his wife, and 2 boys arrived at Fort Smith, Arkansas. And just 8 days after his arrival, his court was trying cases. The Indian Territory was never the same. The next time we're together, we'll learn about Judge Parker's law enforcement arm. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Well, the Braves had a bad weekend. They lost all 3 games. On Friday, they lost to the Cardinals 10-0. Saturday, Cardinals 5, Braves 3. And yesterday, 14 innings, but the Cardinals beat the Braves 6-4. They rallied there toward the last, but not quick enough. 6-4 yesterday over the Braves. They're off tonight, so we won't have a Braves game tonight. They play Astros tomorrow. Now let's turn our attention to our local news, see what's been happening over the weekend. And Deputy Wilson is on the phone now from the Sheriff's Department to give us an update. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great, thank you. What's on the report from the weekend?
Yes, sir. In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 191 calls. The jail has processed 21 arrests, and there's currently 217 people incarcerated in the county jail. And moving on to our incident reports, we have a Misty Lynn Cauldron of Bostic reporting a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. And a Jones Clayton of Rutherford reporting fraud. A Tabitha Marie Reimer of Mooresboro reporting damage to personal property, breaking and entering into a motor vehicle, and misdemeanor larceny. We have a Vance Anthony Vaughn of Ellenboro reporting a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. And lastly, for the incident reports, we have a John Clay Parker of Mooresboro reporting a felony larceny. Moving on to our arrest reports, you bear with me, we have quite a few this morning. We have a Macy Lynn Johnson of Rutherford arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor and a false report to a police station. Michael Dylan Toney of Bostic was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. We have a Cody Wayne Queen of Mooresboro arrested for failure to appear on a felony. Tyler McQuaid Alley of Cliffside was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Lakeela Ann Dickey of Lake Lure was arrested for misdemeanor larceny, failure to appear on a misdemeanor, actually 2 counts of failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Kenneth Robert Hughes Jr. of Mooresboro arrested for misdemeanor breaking and entering. And Alan Richard Farrell of Shelby arrested for diverting utility use. Darius Lee Carson of Rutherford was arrested for failure to comply, habitual felon, and obtaining property by false pretense. Charles William Smith of Ellenboro was arrested for communicating threats and damage to personal property. Jeffrey Paul Woods out of South Carolina was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of firearm by felon, simple possession of Schedule 6 controlled substance, and possession of methamphetamine. India Morel Green of Ellenboro was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Alicia Daniel Gillespie of Mooresboro was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor, driving while license revoked and reckless driving to endanger. And Terry Lee Bunch II of Spindale was arrested for injury to personal property and assault and battery. And Tatiana Gail Marie Wheeler of Asheville was arrested for assault and battery. And lastly, we have a Gregory Michael Gabriel of Lake Lure was arrested for driving while license revoked. And that's all I have for you today.
Deputy Wilson, we do appreciate that report, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday morning as we continue circling the counter to find out what's been happening over the weekend. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Here is Scott now with the 911 Communications Center report today. Scott, how you doing today?
We're doing good.
What's on the report?
Okay, in the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 837 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 68 for EMS, 28 for rescue. For law enforcement, there was 191 for the Sheriff's Office, 152 for Forest City, 15 for Lake Lure, 51 for Rutherfordton, and 100 for Spindale. Under fire calls, Bostic responded to a motor vehicle accident. Cherry Mountain responded to a motor vehicle accident. Forest City and Rutherfordton responded to motor vehicle accidents. Sandy Mush responded to a structure fire, and they were assisted by Forest City and SDO. And Cliffside also had a structure fire, and they were assisted by Ellenboro and Sandy Mush. That's all we've got on today.
Thanks for the report. You be have a good day today.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And that's 22 minutes now past 7 as we walk across the road over here to Farmer's Friend Feed Seeding Supplies, where they've got a lot of plants, many plants in stock. And Mother's Day coming up, you might want to check out their hanging baskets also they have in stock. Make a great gift from Mama. She loves plants. And while you're there, look around, you'll find locally made decorative gates, any size, any shape, many styles. They also have a lot of new and used farm equipment on sale. They got a 4-foot spiker for $295, a 3-foot spiker for $250. New 3-point fertilizer spreader for $450. Check on the prices of dog food, fertilizers in. They got a lot of hay over there and plenty of mulch. They've loaded down with mulch again. So come on by and get your prices and get your supplies you need for Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. That's at Whiteside Road, right across the road here. And telephone number is 287-3272. And Ruby Taylor is our next reporter from the Danieltown SDO Fire District. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
Well, the fire department assisted Sandy Mush on a structure fire. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Kevin Black having birthdays today, and hope he has a nice day. And Mr. and Mrs. Donald Wilkins is having an anniversary, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the range today and going to the secrets tomorrow, and that's all I've got, Jim.
Ruby, I do appreciate it, and you have a wonderful Monday.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
If you suffer from foot or ankle pain, you should know there's advanced care available to you right here in Rutherford County. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics is the only fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon in our region. Now, what does that mean for you? It means a greater level of expertise that comes through advanced studies and research. You have options when it comes to foot and ankle care. So, learn more. Visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Well, Greg, I would like to thank all of you who came out for the big car show on Saturday and for the live music on Saturday night. Boy, they had a blast over there. I understand that band was outstanding and well-behaved people as well. Meanwhile, now we're starting a brand new week, and it's time for you to come back to Gregory's and have lunch today. How about trying one of their grinders? I know you'll love that. They have several choices of that. Enjoy fresh and delicious subs, grinders, or burgers. Enjoy that pasta, garden fresh salads, or steaks fixed to perfection. Every meal I've ever had from Gregory's Original's always been good. Make a smart choice. Bring a friend out to Gregory's, Park Lane Plaza, Rutherford. If you want to call them for catering responsibilities, and boy, will they handle that professionally. That's 287-2171. And we're checking in now with Steve up in Rumbling Ball. Steve, beautiful Monday morning, isn't it?
This can't be Monday.
Yeah, it really is.
Feels like a Sunday morning. Just too beautiful.
I know it.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy it today, because this looks like we're not going to have many more like that this week.
Well, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, it's 47 degrees here and bright sunny skies, so maybe this will help us get through the week a little bit better. And we might be wishing for Monday tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Anyway, it is.
There'll be some scattered showers this week, but we may have some sun, too. It's going to be a mixture, I think.
Okay. We'll run with that. We had a nice weekend, big crowds. I didn't realize how big the wedding business was. It's all hands on deck for us. There's so many departments that are involved. It's a big deal out still. So, being distracted, by the way, there's this bird that keeps pecking on the window, and I thought it was just pecking at itself, but I understand it's some kind of bird that eats the bugs off the window. And apparently we have a few of them on the outside of our security gate. Anyway,
There never be dull moments up there, are there?
Oh, we're always got something going on.
That's right.
I mean, goodness.
I like that.
Yeah. These windows really open up the world for us. But anyway, it's a real busy weekend, and we're just excited to what's coming up. We got a lot of activities coming up and a lot of people coming in. I do have an announcement to make. The Lake Lure Baptist Church this Saturday at 8 a.m. is having a yard sale, and they're raising funds for their fall youth retreat. So they got some food that they're going to sell during the event, and it lasts till 1 p.m. It's this Saturday at the Lake Lure Baptist Church, which is on 6474, not too far from Buffalo Creek Road, or Bills Creek Road, from where we're at. So come out and support the community there, and I'm sure that it'll be rewarding for everybody involved. So that's pretty much what we got.
All right.
For this morning, it's getting busy here, and we're loving it.
All right, Steve. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Jim.
Thanks. Bye. At 7:28 here on this beautiful, marvelous Monday morning, getting up to about 73 for a daytime high. It is a little cool right now. The wind's blowing a little bit, so if the kiddos have got to stand outside a little bit, you might want to put a little jacket around them or a sweater or something, and till later in the day, then they can take it off. Kids don't like to wear coats, right? But they probably need one for a while this morning anyway.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
We're being kind today to all the school custodians. And, boy, I know you work hard. I know you got a tough job on your hands, all of you. So wherever you are, custodians in every school, we salute you today. Can keep up the good work. All school custodians are being saluted today. So pat them on the back when you see one today. Now we're heading up toward the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District and Mr. Bob Hodge. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good morning.
How you doing today?
Doing good for Monday morning.
Yeah, man.
Got a whole week ahead of us here. But it's a little chilly around the edges this morning.
It is indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm glad I had on my
That's
jacket
right.
when I walked out this morning.
yeah, you better wear it a little while anyway. But look like it's gonna warm up a little bit, so we'll get back maybe in the summertime weather here before long. Right now we're kind of fall-like there, so. But it'll warm back up pretty fast. And Jim, up here with the fire department over the weekend, been pretty quiet. We've answered some medical calls and then a residential fire alarm call, and that's about it over the weekend there. And so things are right along pretty good up here this morning, and maybe it'll stay that way, and we'll all have a good day up here today.
Thanks.
And I hope you have a good day, Jim, and you take care. And I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Bob, thank you. I appreciate that. I look forward to see you again tomorrow morning about the same time.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
Bye-bye.
And you can also catch Bob in the afternoons most days with the Afternoon Report with Tom Green, 31 minutes after 7 o'clock. You want something to be proud of when you put down floor covering or carpet in your house. You want something that look good and last a while. That's why you should contact Southern Carpet, because they've been in the business a long time. They know what's going to last and what's not going to last. They know what will look good after the kids and the pets have come in and out of the doors. They know what's going to last and has a residual effect. Why don't you consult with Gerald Lynn or Clayton Tony there at Southern Carpet? They can sure help you. They never put any pressure on you whatsoever. You don't have to feel like you're obligated. Just go in, look around, talk, and ask some questions, and feel the carpet, look at the floor covering, and just tell them how many rooms you got, what you're looking at, and they'll come out and they'll do an estimate for you, and you'll be on your road to have something you'll be very, very proud of. If it comes from Southern Carpet, you know that it's going to be done right. A long-lasting tradition of quality. You'll find them at 1512 West Main Street in Forest City. The phone number is 245-0310. Do something nice for the family this spring. Get new floors, new floor covering, new carpet from Southern Carpet.
Hot temperatures on the highway can be brutal on your automobile. RS Speedy Lube is there to help keep your automobile running clean. Keep the oil changed regularly. They'll check the fluids and vacuum the car. Next door, get the service you need on brakes, radiator, exhaust, CV joints, and radiator flush. RS Service Center also includes service on big trucks and campers. For the best car wash, it's the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash. RS Speedy Lube Service Center is a complete service center inside, outside, and down under Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
Well, it looks like Sue Price is up and at 'em on this Monday morning. And with the report in hand, let's go to Cherry Mountain Fire District. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
I know you're doing
Beautiful morning over here.
Boy, it is beautiful, isn't it?
A little bit cold, though.
But if you step out on the porch, have some socks on because it's chilly out there.
I started out at 39, but I'm sure it's coming up. The sun's up now. It's going to warm up a little bit, but it's cool out there right now. But it'll be a pretty day. Well, let's see. I have the fire department had one vehicle accident. Got one birthday on my church calendar for Autumn King, so I hope Autumn's going to have a good day. She had a little accident and broke her little arm, but it's healing good, I think. And on Fairviews, I've got a birthday for Vaughn White, so I hope Vaughn's going to have a good day today. First Broad has a birthday for Steve Brackett, so I hope all these folks will have a good birthday. And in my announcements, the Fairview Baptist Church will be having Memorial Day, Mother's Day service on May 14th. And then on May 21st through the 24th, they'll be having Spring Revival. First Broad has, they've got a singing coming up. That's on the 21st at 6 o'clock. Faith Walkers 4. Not familiar with that group. Concord Baptist Church having a good old-fashioned singing coming up on Thursday, May 25th at 7 p.m. They'll be having the Chuck Wagon Gang and Land of the Sky Boys. So two good groups coming over there. And you can come early for an old-time hymn sing. It starts at 6:30. And then if you want to come earlier, they'll have a hot dog supper. And that starts at 5 p.m. So come on out and get a good hot dog and enjoy some good singing. We'd like to thank those that come out for the yard sale at the community club at Golden Valley. Ron said they took in about $220, so that was good. Help out the club. And we appreciate everybody that came out for that. We didn't get to go because we were at the florist. It was a busy day for the flower shop with the prom and weddings, and it was kind of crazy. But we got through it and enjoyed it. And I guess that's about all I've got this morning, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks very much, Sue. You enjoy your day, too, and we'll check back in with you in the morning.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye-bye.
Bye. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Well, the Braves are off tonight. They had a full week last week, lost all the games over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to the Cardinals. They lost all of those games, but they'll start a series with the Astros tomorrow. Looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, two-game series, and they're off again on Thursday of this week. So keep following the Braves with us. So they have some good nights and some bad nights, as we all do. 37 past 7 now on this marvelous Monday. Let's head toward upstate Union Mills to get the Cali report. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this marvelous Monday?
I'm just enjoying every minute of it.
That's exactly right. It's cold.
Yeah, that's right. I bet you are chilly on the front porch.
37 degrees on the front porch.
Whoa, that is cold.
I went out yesterday morning. I was busy over the weekend with different things, and I didn't hear the weather report Friday or Saturday. So Well, I let the dogs out sometime early yesterday morning, like, I don't know, it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and my thermometer on the back porch said 38 degrees, and I said, this ain't good. And so I said, Lord, take care of my garden. I said, we've worked hard, and I said, I want to have a garden so bad. I just went back to bed and prayed about it, and I said, I got no control over the weather. Well, I got up at like about 15 after 6 and come out, and where I usually park my car, little man had parked his car. He left it with me this week. Mine's parked over next to the garden where he usually parks his. And there was ice all over his car. I mean, ice. That was yesterday morning.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, no. So I went over to my car, and there wasn't a bit of ice on it.
How about that?
So the Lord protected my garden.
How about that?
And I am thankful.
Yeah, that's great.
That just blowed my mind. I thought, well, now, but that's how it happened. So
prayers are still answered, aren't they?
That's exactly right. He answered my prayer. He knew we had worked hard in that garden and how busy I was, and I didn't hear a weather report. I thought, oh, my tomatoes will be dead and my pepper plants, my beans will be gone. Won't hurt the cabbage.
Yeah, well.
But everything's still perky and looking good, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah. But we hope you had a good weekend. I know you was real busy with Mayfest. I didn't get up there. There was just several things going on, and I did go to Ellenburg to the yard sale, and I was going to come on up there, but my 3 oldest children's daddy is at the point of death, and so I was busy with them and different things, but
well, it was
trying to console them and everything. So
that's always tough.
Yeah, it is. So he's got the same thing that Donald had, so they know what to expect. So
yeah.
That's how it is. But we hope everybody's having a good Monday. The sun's up. It's going to get warm, and it's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yay.
Yay! Birthdays today, Mark Tuttle. Anniversaries, Brenton and Brandy Camp, Stephen and Henry Ann Smith. I don't have any on Round Hill or Macedonia. So we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And then ways of announcements, we got a buffet breakfast at the Gilkey School Community Center. It starts at 7 a.m. and goes to 10 a.m. And this will be Saturday the 13th. Adults is $6, kids 6 to 12, $3, 6 and under free. All you can eat, sausage, bacon, liver mush, gravy, and biscuits, and all the trimmings. And proceeds go to help rebuild the old Gilkey School. Also, on that same day at the Gilkey Community Center, they're going to have outside yard sale. You can bring your own tables. This will be every second Saturday. It runs along with their breakfast. And you can call 429-9075 for information. And other than that, that's all I've got going on this week that I know of. I would like to comment on all the structure fires we've been having.
Yeah.
Ain't there hadn't there been a lot of them?
There seems to have been quite a few of those.
And I was just wondering about that, because usually you don't hear of a structure fire maybe 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, we've had a bunch.
Yeah.
That
makes me wonder.
Bunch is not enough. I mean, bunch is not a lot, but it's more than we should be having.
Yeah.
There's been several structure fires. I don't know what the cause of that is, other than
I don't either. But something's happening that maybe shouldn't be.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know. Have you heard from Gilligan?
Have not. It was a roller coaster weekend, and
For you, I know it. Yeah.
This weekend, and so we left Mayfest early and drove up to Western Carolina to see my grandson graduate.
Oh, well, good.
Our daughter drove in from New York to be there for that, so we spent some time with her. Went out to dinner Saturday night, got home, and family got
your
together.
Your shirt tail ain't hit your back.
Oh, it hadn't. And ended up with a sad note on Sunday night. Last night when we got in the quartet sang last night over in Shelby. Got in last night, and Faye texted me, and our dear friend Ethel Robbins passed away last night.
Oh, she just had her birthday not long ago, didn't she?
She sure did. Yeah.
I was thinking. I remember you talking about her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
She'd been ill for some months now in declining health, and finally went home last night about 8:30.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for that, but it's hard when you lose family members and good friends. It's just death is cruel, but it's certain.
She's like a member of the family for us, but she was ready to go, and we were sad but ready to see her go home too. So.
Well, that's of course my children's daddy hadn't died yet, but my oldest daughter was very concerned. She went down there to see him, and they've not been on the best of terms, so it'd been years since she had seen him. But she said, Mom, I've got to go, because she said, I'm trying to live a Christian life, and my Bible says to honor thy father and thy mother.
Good for her.
So she went down there, and she said, Daddy, I've got to ask you something. And they said, what? And she said, I want to know, if you die, are you ready to meet the Lord? He said, no, I ain't. Well, boy, that tore her up. She come home just crying. So we talked back and forth on the phone and called our pastor, and then she called her aunt, and her aunt's pastor lives down there. He was at Shelby, so he lived down there like within 15 minutes, I think, of the hospital. And so he went down there, and with Dee Dee and him, he accepted the Lord.
Oh, good.
So Dee Dee stopped her crying. She said, I just can't bear the thoughts of it, Mama. And I was so proud of my young'un.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it pays to be ready, don't it?
Good move on her part.
Yeah, it pays to be ready.
Sure does. You never know.
Nope.
Well, Brenda, you have a marvelous Monday up there, and we'll check it back in with you tomorrow.
Okay, have a good one. Catch you later.
Bye. Okay. 7:44 here on WCAB. It's time for this, and we'll get back to the next phone call in just a moment.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
It's a for sure thing. Sisk Family Ford in Forest City is earning a quality reputation for offering an attractive inventory of new and used cars and trucks. If you want a new Ford truck, you'll be a smart shopper to let Sisk Family Ford quote you a deal. From a car for the newlywed to the car for the large family, let the Sisk Family Company help your family get the best deal. Stop by and welcome Terry Date back to Forest City. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Now let's head down toward Cliffside and get a report from Herman Jones, see what's going on. Herman, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jim.
Yes,
you all right this morning?
I am, yes, sir. I am. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
It's another Monday. We can't stop that.
Well, it's good to be here on Monday.
Yes, sir. Rather be here than anywhere else I know.
Yeah, Jim, I'd like to tell all the folks how much I appreciate what they did for me over the weekend. They had a appreciation thing over to Prospect Baptist Church. And I had to leave early. My nerves got tore up. And, Jim, I don't know. I just can't. I used to think, well, somebody's nerves, get messed up, but they could control it, but you can't.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. I don't know.
It's just something that Lord has to take care of, Jim. Yeah. But I appreciate all the concerned people and everything, all the prayers and everything else. I'll make it with the help of the Lord.
Sure. Well, you okay? You okay this morning?
Oh yeah. Doing good this morning. Out on the front porch. It's cool out there.
Yes, sir.
You live with a woman 50-something years, Jim, and do what Lynn and I did together, all the mission work and everything else. And well, the Lord took her. That's one blessing that I can say that she had a good life and that she did what the Lord had have her to do, and I'll see her again one of these days.
That's a good way to look at it, Herman.
Yep. Jim, far as I know, everything else is going on real well down here. Even the coyotes is raising a racket last night, so I reckon they're well and happy. So.
All right. Well, I hope you have a Monday, a good one, and we'll check back in with you next time.
All right. Appreciate it, Jim.
Thanks, Herman. Bye-bye. That's Jones' report there in Cliffside, 7:48, and it's time for birthdays and anniversaries for this 8th day of May 8th. Birthdays and anniversaries can be called in to us right now at 287-3356, and we'll have a party. Give away one of Granny B's cakes, 287-3356.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. Find out about the facts about the Miracle Air Genius 2.0 with Miracle Air. Lisa Terry, the hearing specialist in Forest City and Shelby office, can be helpful in helping you make the right decision. If you need to know the facts before you decide on what's best for you and your hearing condition, Miracle Air could just be the answer. Their A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. There's no better respected or well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Air, and it could be just what you need to make your life happier. Check with Miracle Air. Check with Lisa. The phone number in Forest City is 368-4126, and Shelby is 704-750-0700. 0215 and ask about the miracle, about Miracle Ear.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Hand-decorated birthday cakes the way you like them for any occasion can be yours, professionally done, from Granny B's. 286-9012 is the phone number to call. 286-9012 for that hand-decorated birthday cake to fit your festive occasion.
Happy birthday.
Well, today we're being kind to all the school custodians around the area. There are a lot of them, and they do a lot of interesting, hard work. So we'll salute the custodians on this 8th day. Also celebrating today is Erwin Biggersouth, 18, senior at RS Central. Brent and Brandy Camp of Green Hill, anniversary. Robert Skipper of Ellenboro is having a birthday. Tony Ballou of Sandy Mush celebrating. And Keezy Watkins works at, Keezy Watkins works at Baxter and Marion, also celebrating today with a birthday. Other folks on this 8th is Mark Tuttle, Brenton and Brandy Camp's anniversary, and Stephen and Henry Ann Smith celebrating an anniversary also. Now stand by, let's see who's going to win that cake from Granny B's.
Is it easier to be thankful or to be a grumbler? The assignment for one class was to write a sentence or two on things I am most thankful for. One 4th grade boy wrote, "I'm thankful for my glasses. They keep the boys from touching me and the girls from kissing me." But on the other side of the street, the town grouch was grumbling as usual. "Don't you have anything to be thankful for?" a neighbor asked. "Nope," he said. "Have you ever considered thanking God for turning your nose right side up? He could have put it on the other way so that when it rained you would have drowned, and when you sneezed you would have blown your thankless head off." Well, I think all of us prefer to be with those who give thanks rather than those who grumble. And thankful people usually have a smile on their face, a better stride to their walk, more friends, and frequently are very generous towards others. Thankful people have better attitudes toward life in general. The Bible says, "In everything give thanks, for this is what God wants you to do." Would you take the thankfulness challenge to examine your speech? For the next 5 days, analyze your daily words and make sure you verbalize at least 5 expressions of thanks each day. Do it so others can hear you and seek to do it from your heart. Begin to look for the difference you feel and how people feel toward you. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And a big congratulations going out to Brent and Brandy Camp of Green Hill. They won the cake this morning from Granny B's, so we'll have that certificate right here ready for you. Now stand by. We got a third hour coming up for the morning wake-up call. We first, top of that hour, 8:05 or so, we'll have the job market report from Terry Thomas. Tell us where some jobs are. We'll let you know about those coming up in just a few minutes.
News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Trump reportedly is set to fill a lot of vacant seats on the federal bench.
With one Supreme Court appointment under his belt, Mr. Trump today plans to name the first 10 nominees to fill more than 120 openings in the lower federal court. And although liberal groups say they're braced for an onslaught of ultra-conservative ideologues, the New York Times cites legal analysts as saying the list so far appears to be drawn from within the judicial mainstream, and it includes at least one woman, Michigan Justice Joan L. Larson, a former law clerk to the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis today said the United States will closely examine proposed de-escalation zones in Syria, but warned much still needs to be worked out.
We're going to have to look at it. The devil's always in the details, right?
The initiative was proposed by Russia with support from Turkey and Iran and took effect on Saturday. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are investigating a shooting at an apartment complex that left a man injured. It happened on Sunday morning. A man who pulled the trigger told police someone he knew tried to come inside. That led to a fight where the visitor forced himself in. That's when the shooting happened. Margie Robinson lives in the Misty Woods complex in Charlotte and tells WSOC-TV the shootings are too common.
We was coming around the curve. I say, whoa, somebody done got killed. And he was like, no, they done got shot. But it's not the first time we hear shooting over here.
The city of Kinston, like many others in eastern North Carolina, have dealt with a couple of severe flooding events in the span of 7 months, including Hurricane Matthew. Mayor B.J. Murphy made a trip to Washington to tell North Carolina members of Congress about the danger zone Kinston is in. He tells Spectrum News.
We went to D.C. to absolutely put an exclamation point on how serious this issue really is to the communities here along the Neuse River Basin.
You're listening to NCN News.
Get ready for a totally new type of museum experience at the North Carolina Museum of History's groundbreaking new exhibit, North Carolina and World War I. Wind your way through a life-size trench system with 8-foot walls, a reproduction field hospital, floor-to-ceiling murals, historic film footage and interactive video, plus over 500 artifacts on display. Don't miss your chance to step into the shoes of a Tar Heel soldier from 100 years ago. It's free and now open at the North Carolina Museum of History in downtown Raleigh.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Some Senate Republicans are looking to find a different way to reform the Affordable Care Act. Correspondent Tim McGuire has that.
The Senate is starting from scratch.
Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins tells ABC's This Week the Senate has to look at health care from a different angle than the House.
We will come up with a whole new, fresh approach.
House Speaker Paul Ryan, also on ABC's This Week, sees the bill as a good start, with the Senate making some changes, including keeping costs down and coverage up for older people and those with pre-existing conditions.
We've already acknowledged we think we need to do even more support for people who are older and also more support for people with pre-existing conditions.
I'm Tim McGuire.
The Obama White House's role in the Russia controversy will come under fresh scrutiny today. Sagar Magani has that.
Former Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates will testify today before one of 3 congressional panels looking into ties between Trump associates and Russia. The Obama administration holdovers expected to say she expressed alarm in January to the Trump White House about Mike Flynn's contacts with Moscow's U.S. ambassador, capping weeks of growing concern among Obama officials. Trump fired Yates days later after she refused to enforce his travel ban. 3 weeks after that, Flynn was forced to resign as National Security Advisor for misleading officials about his talks with the ambassador. Trump has dismissed the probes of his campaign's possible ties to Russian election meddling as a hoax. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Police say one man has been killed and a woman critically injured in a shooting in Durham. Police spokesman Will Glenn says that officers were called around 1 a.m. today. Glenn says officers found a man dead and a woman critically injured. She's been taken to the hospital for treatment.
Thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice for 50 years. Let's keep it going. Turn it up. We're AM 59 WCAB.
From
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Another Senate hearing today on Russian meddling in the election and alleged ties between Russian officials and the Trump campaign. Here's ABC News Senior Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas.
All eyes will be on former Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, who all but ended the brief tenure of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Yates took center stage when she notified the new Trump White House that she was concerned that Flynn had been communicating with the Russian ambassador about President Obama's sanctions against the Kremlin for meddling in the U.S. election. Yates was concerned because she saw repeated assertions from Trump's team suggesting Flynn told them he had not discussed Obama's sanctions with the Russian officials during the transition.
President Trump expected to unveil his first slate of nominees to fill federal judgeships across the country. There are 120 openings. Protests in Texas over the passage of a bill banning sanctuary cities.
In a Facebook Live session, Texas Governor Greg Abbott put pen to paper.
Texas has now banned sanctuary cities in the Lone Star State.
Setting off demonstrations outside, Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins says immigrants are already reluctant to report crimes to the police.
This will make it exponentially tougher for a large segment of our society to feel comfortable to dial 911 and report those serious crimes.
The new law allows police officers to ask people in their custody about their legal status. Opponents plan lawsuits. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Emmanuel Macron won in France over the weekend, but France is still divided.
Macron won the presidency with 66% of votes cast for a candidate, but a high number of blank or spoiled votes and an unusually low turnout are signs of an electorate dissatisfied with its choices. A lot of work lies ahead for the new man who, at 39, had never run for elected office until this campaign.
That's ABC's Tom Rivers in Paris. Another American, a college professor, arrested in North Korea as tensions between the U.S. and Pyongyang escalate further. You're listening to ABC News.
This is a special announcement for all Americans who owe back taxes to the IRS or state. Pay attention. There's a special toll-free hotline set up especially for you. This hotline will give you free information on how you can legally reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call the taxpayer hotline today at 1-800-442-4840. Grab a pen or put the number in your cell phone. 1-800-442-4840. You'll speak with qualified professionals who will tell you how to stop the collection calls, IRS letters, bank levies, and wage garnishments. And they'll deal directly with the IRS on your behalf so you don't have to. Even if you haven't filed returns or are already in a payment plan, you can still get relief. New IRS settlement policies have opened the doors for a fresh start. But hurry, this won't last forever, and your tax problem will only get worse if you do nothing or try to handle it yourself. It makes a big difference in who you call. So call the taxpayer hotline today for free information. 1-800-442-4840. 1-800-442-4840.
The war over health care is raging on as lawmakers are back home for congressional recess. ABC's Janae Norman with more.
It wasn't exactly a warm welcome home for some Republican lawmakers.
We have
The GOP health care bill narrowly cleared the House last week, and now some Republicans are on the defense following their latest yes votes to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Forced to explain why they supported the measure that rolls back key protections of Obamacare to constituents worried they could lose health care coverage or see their premiums go up. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
A 10-year-old girl in Florida fought off a 9-foot alligator on Saturday. She was swimming in an Orlando lake that was supposed to be safe, but the gator grabbed her leg and held on.
The girl tries punching the gator in the nose. When that didn't work, she pokes the animal in the nostrils, then pulls down on the gator's bottom jaw, finally freeing her leg. State officials closing the waterfront as a precaution. The girl rushed to an area hospital with puncture wounds to her knee and thigh.
That's ABC's Adrian Banker. The little girl says she learned how to do that at Gatorland Wildlife Park. It's a theme park in Florida. She got 10 stitches. The gator got caught and was put down. When a fan wrote to hip-hop star Nicki Minaj on Twitter asking if she would pay his college tuition, she wrote, "Show me straight A's that I can verify and I'll pay it." A few fans took her up on that, posting screenshots of their grades. She wrapped up the contest, did pay some tuitions, and after a few hours promised she would do it again soon. This is ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and now for a limited time, just go to MyPillow.com, click the Radio Listener Special tab, and use promo code SKY to get 2 premium king or queen pillows and 2 additional Go Anywhere travel pillows, all for 50% off and free shipping. That's MyPillow.com, promo code SKY, or call 1-800-635-1825. 1-800-635-1825.
Open Box Wholesale Store is a great addition to Rutherford County. Open Box is a super discount store loaded with brand new merchandise for the entire family. And right now they're having a huge bike liquidation sale with super low prices. Also, they have fitness equipment, games, children's toys, shoes for the entire family, clothing, furniture, home decor, and so much more. New items arriving weekly. Hot item now is Bluetooth speakers, only $10. Stop by the Open Box Wholesale Store located on Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton.
We'll see mainly sunny skies around the area today with breezy conditions and mild temperatures. We'll look for low humidity again with highs about 70 to 75. Overnight tonight, clear in the evening, but clouds will be increasing by morning and will be cool with lows in the 40s. Looks like we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies Tuesday. We do have a chance of some sprinkles or showers tomorrow and a range of temperatures. Highs should range from low 60s in the north to around 80 in southernmost parts of the state. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
From inside looking out, it looks like it could be about 75 or 80, but it's not. It's 52 right now. It has jumped a little bit from 44 to 52, working its way to 73, but some wind gusting to 19 miles per hour today. So not a bad day. Beautiful day, as a matter of fact. Sunny Monday here in the foothills. Now the rain returns to the forecast tonight with a slight possibility of some isolated showers, scattered showers on Tuesday, isolated Tuesday night, scattered on Wednesday, isolated on Wednesday night, scattered on Thursday, scattered on Thursday night, and cloudy with showers likely with a 70% chance on Friday and 40% chance on Saturday. Mother's Day looks like partly cloudy, highs around 73. No rain looks like right now for Mother's Day, so that'll be great. Right now, again, 52 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherfordton. Let's go back to the phones now this Monday morning and find out where some job opportunities are. We have Terry Thomas on the phone to give us that update. Terry, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
It was nice to meet you last night.
It was my pleasure.
It's nice to put a face to a voice we've been talking to for so long.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell us about some of the jobs.
Okay, we're going to start with the Rutherfordton area. We have an IT user and technical support position. This job does require a high school diploma and or GED and at least 4 years experience doing computers. This job also requires a driver's license. The pay on this job depends upon experience. We have a churn room operator. This job does require a high school diploma and at least 2 years of manufacturing experience. The pay on this job also depends upon experience. And we have a assistant quality associate position in the Rutherfordton area. It does require at least 6 months experience in quality control and a high school diploma and or GED, and the pay on this job depends upon experience. In the Mill Springs area, we have a chemical dependency technician position. This job does require a high school diploma and or GED, or you must have a current counselor intern status and have knowledge of a 12-step recovery. This job pays $7.25 an hour up to $10 an hour, depending upon experience. In the Columbus area, we have a cook and dishwasher position. This is working 25 to 40 hours a week. This job pays depending upon experience, and it does not require any education. In the Tryon area, we have a marketing director position. This job does require an associate's degree and at least 1 year experience in marketing. This job pays $35,000 a year. In the Spindle area, we have a processing assistant 3 position. It does require at least 1 year experience and a high school diploma and or GED. And the pay on this job is $22,964 per year. Also in the Spindle area, we have a program specialist position. This is working in the Section 8 housing department. You must have a high school diploma and or GED and at least 1 year experience. And the pay depends upon experience. And we have a social worker 1 position. This job does require a bachelor's degree and at least 2 years experience in social work. And this job does require a driver's license. And this job pays $39,000 a year. We also have a social worker supervisor position for the Spindle area. This job does require a bachelor's degree and at least 5 years experience. And this job pays $46,000 a year. In the Far City area, we are still accepting applications for the new textile manufacturing plant called Everest Textiles. And they are taking various positions in supervisory and regular manufacturing positions. And these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherford. For more information on these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry Thomas, thank you so very much, and we look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
I look forward to it.
It's 11 minutes after 8.
Reaching 10 counties from the county seat of Rutherford. This is the mighty 590 WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Across our state, we're listening to customers like you, and we're working hard to build the brighter energy future you and your family deserve. That's why we're making smart investments to improve reliability and prevent outages, to recycle coal ash and use more clean, renewable energy like solar. And above all, keep energy affordable now and in the years ahead. We're Duke Energy, and we're building a smarter energy future for you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Now looking at some stories from here and there this morning after we scanning other sources of news being reported. The Daily Courier is reporting about a man being charged with indecent liberties here in the county. 67-year-old Mooresboro man in jail under a $105,000 bond, facing 7 counts of indecent liberties with a child. John Calvin Hodge of Grover Scruggs Road was arrested Thursday on the offenses that, according to Sheriff Chris Francis, began in November the 20th, 2016. The alleged crimes were reported March 20th. Sheriff Francis said the victim is under age 16. He also said that Hodge was in a dating relationship with a relative of the victim. Again, that's 67-year-old John Calvin Hodge of Grover Scruggs Road, arrested for the offense of indecent liberties with a minor. Other news being reported from the Courier. Jennifer Roxanne Yelton, 35, of S. Glen Street in Ellenboro, is being held in the Rutherford County Detention Facility under a governor's warrant. Yelton is wanted in South Carolina for failure to appear on dangerous drugs. Also, Jessica Tamika Curtin, 29, of Charlotte, was arrested by the Forest City Police Department on charges of robbery with a dangerous weapon and assault by pointing a gun. The offense occurred at Rutherford Manor in Forest City. She's being held under a $15,000 bond in the Slammer. Saturday was a big day in the area with Mayfest. It's been reported as the biggest attended in some while. Thousands ventured up and down Main Street, Rutherfordton, to see what all the Mayfest activities were all about. Kids were everywhere, balloons flying, and music was being played, and folks were stopping to chat with others. Big event. Congratulations to all those who made that possible. Meanwhile, the Spindale Board of Commissioners had their first look at the proposed budget for fiscal year on Thursday, with an overall decrease of approximately $10,000, excluding capital, compared to last year's budget. Commissioners heard reports from each department on their needs and wants for the upcoming fiscal year. Everybody's looking at budgets, it seems. Other news from here and there this morning. The Shelby Star is reporting that a man is dead after someone shot him in his home Saturday night. Wade Treshawn Hamilton, 28, was shot and killed inside his Merritt Drive home in Shelby around 5 p.m. on Saturday. He was dead when emergency crews arrived, and no one else was home at the time of the shooting, although it appears Hamilton did not live alone. Police do not know if the killer left on foot or in a vehicle. They are canvassing the neighborhood for information. Shelby Police Department asks that anyone with any information or know anything about this, please contact Crime Stoppers 704-481-TIPS. or contact the local officials and they'll help you get in touch with the right people. Another story from the Shelby Star. No arrest has been made in the fatal shooting Saturday on Merritt Drive. Shelby police continued the search for a suspect in the shooting death of Wayne Treshawn Hamilton, 28, who was killed inside his home around 5 p.m. Family member at the home found Hamilton and called 911. He's an aspiring rapper. He lived at the home with his family, but no one else was home at the time of the shooting. Hamilton does have a conviction record dating back to 2007. His most recent was in 2013 for kidnapping in the second degree, cruelty to animal, child abuse, and assault by strangulation. He was released in 2015. They're still trying to figure out why he was shot. They're looking for information on that story. Well, WWE fans will recognize this name. She's a star, native Charlottean. Charlotte Flair announced she was the victim of a nude photo hacking scheme. In a since-deleted tweet from Thursday, the daughter of well-known wrestler Ric Flair said private photos of her were stolen from her and posted online without her consent. The images must be removed from the internet immediately, she said in a tweet, according to the New York Times. Charlotte Flair is a NXT Women's Champion and a 4-time Raw Women's Champion. Some of the wrestler's fans took to Twitter to support her after the incident. She is the latest female wrestler to have photos posted online against her will. The same thing has recently happened to wrestlers including Paige and Alexis Bliss, the New York Post reported. Flair, whose real name is Ashley Flair, is from Charlotte. 31-year-old went to school at Providence High and was a personal trainer in the Valentine before stepping into the ring herself. The North Carolina Division of Public Health is encouraging North Carolinians to make sure they're up to date on their vaccines after 7 mumps cases were identified in April in North Carolina. Cases have been identified in Orange, Wake, and Watauga counties. Among those affected are college and elementary school students. Mumps is a viral illness best known for causing swelling of the salivary glands below the ears and above the jaws. Infection is spread by droplets from the nose, mouth, or throat of an infected person. In males, mumps can also cause inflammation of the testicles, called orchitis. A person who with confirmed or suspected mumps should stay home from work or school and limit close contact with others for 5 days after the salivary glands swell or until mumps is ruled out. Practicing good hygiene can reduce the risk of spreading illness. This includes washing hands frequently with soap and water, warm water, covering mouth when coughing, and not sharing cups or food utensils with others. But have your shots updated, mumps particularly. Don't hear about mumps much, but boy, it must be making a comeback. Remember, as a kid growing up, a lot of people had the mumps, including moi. We'll have that sheriff's report with Deputy Wilson coming up here in just a few moments on the Morning Wake Up Call, hour number 3 here at WCAB. Do you need a legal consultation regarding wills, real estate closings, or Medicaid planning, or just legal representation? Contact attorneys Geraldine Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Girard at the Arledge Law Firm on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. With years of experience and expertise, Arledge Law Firm is your local professional law firm that really cares about their clients, and it shows. Whatever the situation you're facing, call 828-287-3338. Let this professional team go to work for you.
Rutherford Orthopedics is dedicated to quality orthopedic care for the people of Rutherford and surrounding counties. Our certified orthopedic surgeons and fellowship-trained podiatric surgeon provide care for joint replacements, fractures, sports rehabilitation, surgical management of arthritis, and general orthopedic problems. For more information on Rutherford Orthopedics, call 828-287-9260 or visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Spring is in the air, and if you find yourself in need of a new nebulizer, remember Smith's Drugs. We have a variety of character nebulizers to help you take care of your breathing needs. We have fire trucks, trains, penguins, panda bears, and boring green ones too. Come see us at Home Medical Department at 139 East Main Street, Forest City.
Thanks very much, Carson. Thanks for that good word. It's 20 minutes now past 8 o'clock and time for the Sheriff's Report. We aired this earlier live and recorded it for broadcast again at this time. And here is Deputy Wilson with that report.
Past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 191 calls. The jail has processed 21 arrests, and there's currently 217 people incarcerated in the county jail. And moving on to our incident reports, we have a Misty Lynn Cauldron of Ballstick reporting a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering, and a Jones Clayton of Rutherford reporting fraud, a Tabitha Marie Reimer of Mooresboro reporting damage to personal property, breaking and entering into a motor vehicle, and misdemeanor larceny. We have a Vance Anthony Vaughn of Ellenboro reporting a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. And lastly, for the incident reports, we have a John Clay Parker of Mooresboro reporting a felony larceny. Moving on to our arrest reports, you bear with me, we have quite a few this morning. We have a Macy Lynn Johnson of Rutherford arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor and a false report to a police station. Michael Dylan Tony of Ballstick was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. We have a Cody Wayne Queen of Mooresboro arrested for failure to appear on a felony. Tyler McQuaid Alley of Cliffside was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Lakeela Ann Dickey of Lake Lure was arrested for misdemeanor larceny, failure to appear on a misdemeanor, actually 2 counts of failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Kenneth Robert Hughes Jr. of Mooresboro arrested for misdemeanor breaking and entering. And Alan Richard Farrell of Shelby arrested for diverting utility use. Darius Lee Carson of Rutherford was arrested for failure to comply, habitual felon, and obtaining property by false pretense. Charles William Smith of Ellenboro was arrested for communicating threats and damage to personal property. Jeffrey Paul Woods out of South Carolina was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of firearm by felon, simple possession of Schedule 6 controlled substance, and possession of methamphetamine. India Morel Green of Ellenboro was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Alicia Daniel Gillespie of Mooresboro was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor, driving while license revoked, and reckless driving to endanger. And Terry Lee Bunch II of Spindale was arrested for injury to personal property and assault and battery. And Tatiana Gail Marie Wheeler of Asheville was arrested for assault and battery. And lastly, we have a Gregory Michael Gabriel of Lake Lure was arrested for driving while license revoked. And that's all I have for you today.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Be back in just a few. Update you on some sports news coming up here on the Mighty 590.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Ricky Steinhaus Jr. used a strong Ford engine to blow past Kyle Busch in overtime at Talladega on Sunday for his first NASCAR Sprint Cup victory. Runner-up Jamie McMurray says there's no predicting the order of finish until the race is over. It's super circumstantial on the track of who's in front of you, who's behind you. There's times when you feel like you're going to have a big run and you don't, and then there's other times that it happens. So it's a good overall day for us. It was the first victory for Roush Fenway Racing since Carl Edwards at Sonoma in 2014. NBA playoffs Sunday, LeBron James poured in 35 points, and the Cleveland Cavaliers advanced to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals by completing their second consecutive four-game sweep, 109-102 in Toronto. Washington and Boston tied at 2 games apiece in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals after the Wizards scored 26 straight in the third quarter during a 121-102 pounding of the Celtics. John Wall had 27 points, 12 assists for the Wizards. He said they can win in Boston if they figure out how to stop the Celtics shooters.
We know we have the ability to win there. We just got to bring that same defensive intensity that we had the 2 games we had here, because when we played there, we didn't play great defense, and we still had a chance to win those games.
Out west, Houston and San Antonio, they're knotted at 2 games each. The Rockets romped the Spurs 125-104. San Antonio, though, was outscored by 23 in the first and third quarters combined. On the ice, the Nashville Predators have advanced to the NHL's Western Conference Finals for the first time in their history by downing the Blues 3-1 in Nashville. Preds goalie Pekka Rinne made 23 saves. He said they're not completely satisfied because they're just halfway to their goal.
There's a lot of work left. After this second round, there's only 4 teams left, and everything is in our hands, and it's a good feeling. This is why you play this game, and right now, pretty happy.
The Predators are sitting idle. They're waiting to find out who they'll face. That's because last night, the Edmonton Oilers crushed the visiting Anaheim Ducks 7-1 to force the 7th game in their Western semifinal. This is NCN Sports.
Welcome to Smithfield's. May I help you, please?
Yes, I'd like to order a barbecue sandwich and a chicken tender sandwich and 2 teas.
We can add fries to that and make it a value pack. May I do that for you, please?
Sure.
Okay, so I have a barbecue sandwich value pack and a jumbo tender sandwich value pack and 2 sweet teas. Do I have your order correct, please?
Yes.
We're preparing it fresh right now. Please pull forward.
Whether it's a fast lunch or a quick dinner, we look forward to seeing you soon.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
I hear you have a new job.
You bet. More opportunity and more pay.
Really?
Went online to ncjobsnow.com. There were hundreds of jobs listed from all across North Carolina. I found one that was just right for me.
If you find something interesting, how do you apply?
You can call the employer, or you can submit your application online.
What if I'm interested in just posting my resume?
You can do that too. All you need to know is right there on the site, and it's available to participating employers.
It's North Carolina's best source for job listings statewide. ncjobsnow.com.
Brian Harmon made a 30-foot birdie putt on the final hole and closed with a 468 for his second PGA Tour victory, winning the Wells Fargo Championship and denying Dustin Johnson his 4th straight victory. Harmon says he had a grasp of what he needed to do to pick up the win.
I didn't need to look at the leaderboards because I was on the course. I knew how the course was playing. I wasn't hearing all the murmurs, so I knew no one was running away with it. So that I knew that if I just stayed in my lane, that I was going to have a really good chance.
The Wells Fargo Championship played at Eagle Point in Wilmington, the traditional venue, Quail Hollow, hosting the PGA Championship later in the summer. The Yankees needed extra innings to complete a sweep of the Cubs as Aaron Hicks scored the tie-breaking run on Starlin Castro's fielder's choice in the 18th to send New York past Chicago 5-4. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
February is American Heart Month. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Every year, 1 in 4 deaths are caused by heart disease. The good news is that heart disease can often be prevented when people make healthy choices and manage their health conditions. To lower your risk, watch your weight, quit smoking, and stay away from secondhand smoke. Control your cholesterol. Drink alcohol only in moderation and get active and eat healthy. Uncontrolled blood pressure is the leading cause of heart disease and stroke. In fact, more than 67 million Americans have high blood pressure, and people with high blood pressure are 4 times more likely to die from heart disease. If you or a loved one is concerned about heart health and heart disease, Rutherford Regional Health System is proud to feature cardiologists on its medical staff who advise and treat adults and children. For more information about our cardiology providers who are at your disposal, visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/cardiology. You know, Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale, has been part of the family for years. Your granddad, your dad, and now this generation is depending on the great inventory, excellent service, and better pricing. Listen to some of these items we need probably right about now. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 a bag. Dog food, fire and ant killer in spray and granular, flea and tick prevention, carpenter bee traps, weed killer, and so much more. Go see Scott and his team today at 770 Oakland Road, Spindale, and keep the family tradition going.
Joey Logano.
The more you kind of hide from something, for one, you look guilty.
Stands up at Talladega.
I don't believe that we wear a black hat or anything like that.
And
it should be at least more fun for the first, 2/3 of the race.
Never again will I make that mistake.
Mark Caro and PRN's Garage Pass.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. That's 800-605-1682.
Joey Logano is not about to go run and hide after his team was hit with a major penalty following last week's win. So on the opening day at Talladega, he was willing to admit they had crossed the line barely.
I'm a big believer of hitting it head on and talking about it, because the more you kind of hide from something, for one, you look guilty, and two, people are going to speculate a lot of different things on what it was and how bad it's going to be. And that's not just with something like this today. It could be anything, in life.
And despite Team Penske being hit with 2 major penalties this year, Logano makes it clear they're not always trying to push the limit.
I don't believe that we wear a black hat or anything like that. I think we're the most professional organization out here. I think we push as hard as we can because we're looking for hundredths of a second. Every race team is. The fact of the matter is we're winning right now, and when your car wins, it gets put through tech a lot.
Not only is Logano's crew chief Todd Gordon sitting out this weekend because of a 2-race suspension, but teammate Brad Keselowski's crew chief Paul Wolfe still owes NASCAR 2 weeks from Phoenix and has decided to stay home as well. Going into the Geico 500, Dale Jr. hopes to grab his 7th win at Talladega so he can lock up a playoff spot, because right now, sitting 24th, he's not about to qualify on points.
Greg told me last week we wasn't looking at him anymore. He's just going to try to win a race. If we're sitting 15th, 16th, 17th, you probably can't help but looking points in. We're sitting so far back, we just got to get this thing to where we can finish.
No doubt, stage racing in the Daytona 500 made that restrictor plate race more exciting, and Martin Truex Jr. figures it's going to be the same thing on Sunday.
More guys to be willing to risk it, less guys ride around in the back, so it should be at least more fun for the first 2/3 of the race.
There's no one in the world quite like you. That's why your search for a car is more than just, the search for a car. It's about finding the perfect car for you, the right car to carry you on the journey to your dreams. At Auto Trader, you can compare new and used cars and save your searches along the way. Auto Trader will send you cars that match what you're looking for, and they'll even let you know when the price drops on a car you've saved. Auto Trader, the only car search engine driven by you.
Finally today, Dale Jr. on his weekly podcast with Jimmy Johnson.
We got posed a question about maybe who's the best plate racer or something like that, and I wrote Jimmy's name on my piece of paper, but I spelled it with a Y, and right in front of him. So, and he grabs a piece of paper and spelled it properly for me. That was pretty embarrassing. But and so Luckily
you
never
have an easy name.
I know. Never again will I make that mistake.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, brought to you by Autotrader.com.
For professional brake and tire service, call on Broadway Tire Service. For brakes, shocks, struts, batteries, alignments, North Carolina inspections, new or used tires, Broadway Tire carries brand name tires that give longer tire life, superior handling, and provide excellent driving performance. They also offer complete exhaust service with lifetime warranty, and of course, Broadway Tire satisfaction is always guaranteed. Bring your vehicle to the tire experts. Jacob Bradley and his trained staff are ready to assist you. Broadway Tire Service, West Main Street in 4A City, or call 245-4505.
We'll see mainly sunny skies around the area today with breezy conditions and mild temperatures. We'll look for low humidity again with highs about 70 to 75. Overnight tonight, clear in the evening, but clouds will be increasing by morning and will be cool with lows in the 40s. Looks like we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies Tuesday. We do have a chance of some sprinkles or showers tomorrow and a range of temperatures. Highs should range from low 60s in the north to around 80 in southernmost parts of the state. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Our temperature is climbing pretty fast. It's up to 54 now. Started out at 44 this morning. We're 10 degrees above that right now. And climbing up to 73 before the day's over with. By noon, we should be there. And some wind gusting to 19 miles per hour, they tell us. And tonight, dropping back to 52, about where we are right now for tonight. Chance of precip tonight is only 20%. We may get some off and on showers, some isolated thunderstorms and scattered showers throughout the week. It's in the forecast a little bit possibilities every week until Mother's Day. And Mother's Day looks pretty good. No rain in sight for that. So perfect weather to take your mom out if you still have her. Congratulations to Brett and Brandy Camp of Green Hill. They won the cake this morning from Granny B's, and we're being kind to all the school custodians around the area. Now, they're probably busy not hearing this message, so you'll have to tell them whenever you hear it. Or when they get out of school, maybe they'll hear it. But we're being kind of all school custodians. They have a job. It's a tough job sometimes, working, cleaning up after the kiddos. But they do. Many of them are dedicated to the job. So school custodians are the ones we're being kind to today. No Braves game tonight, but Fast Talk at 7 o'clock this evening. Following Fast Talk, we'll go into Overnight Talk with our talk show. Larry Elder is on this evening, along with some other talk shows overnight, all night long. Eric McTax is early in the morning, and then I'll come in again at 6. So we have something going on for you 24/7 on AM 590 and also on Northland Cable Channel 5. Well, this is a time sometimes we report the crazies news. Crazies out there, some crazy people out there. Use that term in parentheses, crazy. Down in Montgomery, Alabama, there's a woman who faked terminal cancer to steal donations from GoFundMe accounts. Yeah, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall says a Shelby County woman claimed she had terminal cancer and solicited at least $38,000 in donations to GoFundMe. 37-year-old Jennifer Flynn Castaldo lives just outside Birmingham. Marshall says his office worked with the FBI to investigate Castaldo after she solicited donations on 2 GoFundMe accounts, one for medical expenses and another for a trip to Disney World. Investigators found out Coltino was not a cancer patient, did not have cancer. She was arrested Thursday by Shelby County deputies on warrants from the Attorney General's office. Castaldo is charged with 2 counts of first-degree theft by deception. There's a $50,000 bond on each charge. GoFundMe issued a statement saying they don't like to be used like that. So the user has been banned, and they're working with law enforcement officials to make sure donors get their money back. The Attorney General's office is asking anyone who may have been a victim of the donation scam to contact their office at 334-353-1875. Some of those GoFundMe fund sites are legitimate, but that's a case in point where some of them are not so. So you just have to really, really be careful when we open up our hearts and our purse strings to folks that are in need. Meanwhile, in York, Pennsylvania, there was a York County man accused of killing his pregnant wife with a sword. He faces a possible death sentence if the case goes to trial. And he says he wanted to kill his pregnant wife with a sword to save the world. That's what he said. The district attorney's office on Friday filed a notice of intention to seek the death penalty against 31-year-old John Ziegler III. Ziegler is charged with first-degree murder in the deaths of 25-year-old Diana Ziegler and her unborn child. Authorities said the victim was 6 months pregnant when she was killed in January at the couple's Jackson Township home. A police officer who testified at Ziegler's preliminary hearing in March said Ziegler believed his wife was the queen bee of a race of hybrid humans, and he needed to destroy her to save the world. Like I say, this is the crazy part. Crazy reporting. That took place, of course, there in York, Pennsylvania. He believed his wife was the queen bee of a race of hybrid humans, and he needed to destroy her to save the world. So he did. Yep. Well, this is not so crazy. This is something just to be aware of. I'll give you a heads up. Down at Edisto Island, South Carolina, the Palmetto Poison Center says they have had a 30% increase in calls this year through April compared to the same time period in 2016 on snake bites. Yep. Ted Clapp said we have no snakes that attack, but they do defend themselves if we get really close to them and they think we're going to harm them. They will bite us if we step on them or touch them. Some people even get bit trying to kill snakes. Ted Clapp owns and operates the Edisto Island Center there. He says it's likely the increase is due to the weather. A mild winter and early spring means snakes could be more active earlier in the season. He says we're also more likely to run into a snake in the spring because we too are spending more time outdoors. So watch out for the snakes. Snake bites up 30% in South Carolina. Clapp says it's important to make sure your yard is tidy. If you want to try and keep snakes out of your yard, off your property, you need to keep it clean. Snakes look for food while on the move. He says it's important to remove anything in the yard that could be home to a rodent and then possibly a snake. No debris lying around, no boards, tins, or anything like that. Those are perfect places to live under. Clapp says snakes will leave you alone unless they feel threatened, so it's important to be aware. They have a large collection of venomous and non-venomous snakes, as well as alligators, crocodiles, and turtles at Edisto Island there. If it crawls on its belly and got a little tongue that flips out like that, then I don't want to be anywhere near it. I don't care what color it is or how many diamonds it's got on his back, or if it doesn't have anything on his back. If it crawls on his belly, raises its head, and sort of sticks that wicked tongue out there, then I want out of his way in a hurry. Here's another interesting, crazy story out of Pittsburgh. A Pittsburgh area businessman will get a new trial on mortgage fraud charges because his defense attorney fell asleep. Yeah. The judge saw the defense attorney sleeping, witnesses and federal court jurors who convicted him last year, so he got a new trial. U.S. District Judge Donetta Ambrose ruled Monday that James Nacita was denied a fair trial because Stan Levinson dozed during the trial. Levinson acknowledges sleeping because he was taking cold medicines that made him drowsy. He moved for a mistrial, but the judge opted to wait for the jury's verdict first and to let Nacita file an appeal if he was convicted. After that happened, Nacita's new attorney, James Brink, filed the appeal. The new trial is scheduled to begin in September. Nacita is accused of inflating borrowers' income to get millions of dollars in fraudulent loans through his Century 3 home equity firm. Can you imagine having an attorney defending you and you look over there and he's sleeping? Down in Palm Harbor, Florida, a woman is found passed out in the car with screaming child and drugs. Yep. Screaming child in the front seat and drugs within the child's reach. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said Tiffany Brown, 36, was in a parking lot in Palm Harbor. Deputies responded to the location regarding a report of a person down. Liz Perez, an employee at Palm Harbor Plastic Surgery Center, rushed to help after she and another witness saw Brown in the car. A client heading into the surgery center noticed Brown was passed out in her car around noon. She saw a child in the front seat who was crying. The engine was off. The windows were up. The door was slightly cracked open, just the back with her feet dangling out, but she was completely out. Perez said Brown was sitting on the ground and vaping in the breezeway of the plaza moments before getting into her car. I'd say it was about maybe 30 minutes, she said, that he was there just from the time we kind of saw them leave the dentist office next door to when we called 911. When deputies arrived, they found Brown unresponsive in the back seat of her vehicle with a 3-year-old child partially belted in the front seat. Deputy said the door on the child's side of the vehicle was open and the child was screaming. Paramedics had difficulty waking Brown. Brown denied the prescription drugs were hers, but she admitted that she had taken methadone. Paramedics took the child inside the surgery center to cool off. She was arrested. Brown was arrested and charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance and 1 count of child neglect. Crazies out there. Alcohol and drugs make people do crazy things. And when children are involved, they ought to receive the severest punishment possible for neglect of a child or being passed out with children close by. And the drugs were close enough the child could reach them, according to the story. That woman ought to be punished severely for that. It's 8:45. I'll be back in one momento. Ladies and gentlemen, with the help of Laura Hodge at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton, you can get all your medicines synchronized. That promotes better compliance. No more trying to remember if you've taken this medicine or not. It takes the pressure off trying to remember what comes next. Ask about the RX Simplicity or just tell them you want your medicine synchronized. Remember also, Medicine Box of Rutherfordton is the place to get Dr. Comfort therapeutic footwear. You will be able to feel the difference. The Medicine Box of Rutherfordton is the home of the 2 Old Goats lotion for joint pain that's working so well for many people in this area. Stop in and ask about it today at Medicine Box of Rutherfordton, right beside the Napa store, Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton.
My mom used to always tell me no when I wanted to play games online or video chat with Nana. She said it's because we had a slow DSL connection. But then we switched to Northland, and their internet is seriously fast.
With packages starting at $29.99 per month and speeds up to 100 megabits per second, it's time you said no to slow and yes to Northland. Call 1-888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com/fast today. Limited time offer. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. See getnorthland.com/offers for details.
Variety makes radio listening a pleasure. We have it. News, weather, sports, talk shows, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. WCAB Rutherfordton. A lot of talk about this new health care act passes, a major victory there for Trump and Republicans. American Health Care Act passes in the House. A lot of one side is saying it does this, and the other side saying it doesn't do that, it does this. But here are 5 big things the bill does. Now, there are a lot more to all of this. This is simplifying. This is maybe the Reader's Digest version. This is from Breaking Christian News. Here are the 5 big things that the bill does. It blocks federal payments to Planned Parenthood for 1 year. That's a big win for pro-life Republicans. It eliminates Obamacare tax penalties for those who don't buy coverage. It includes Medicaid cuts and allows state work requirements for Medicaid recipients. It changes Obamacare insurance subsidies into tax credits. Continues family policies that cover grown children until age 26. And, of course, the liberals are fiercely opposed to the bill. Not a single Democrat expected to support it. It's uncertain if it'll get through the Senate or not, but it did pass the House. Pre-existing conditions remain a big concern despite the last-minute amendment. The bill allows states to get federal waivers that would free insurers from other Obamacare coverage requirements. With waivers, insurers could charge people with pre-existing conditions higher rates than their peers and raise prices for older consumers. Still a lot to be worked out and ironed out in that, but it's at least moving in the right direction, because there's story after story after story how this Obamacare just absolutely destroyed people's insurance and their health care. I don't know if you watch Steve Harvey or not. Any of you like Steve? I love Steve Harvey. He's a great comedian, man of faith. He does, on Family Feud, he does use the language that you don't want your kids using. Nothing really X-rated, but he uses those terms that you'd assume your kids not use. But he won 2 awards, 2 Daytime Emmy Awards for his show. One of them, of course, is his daytime talk show that he does, and the other one is Family Feud. And he said he's obviously a man of faith. He gives God all the glory following his 2 Daytime Emmy wins. He says, God has given me a life far beyond anything I ever dreamed about. God is something else, man. It's no secret that actor and TV host Steve Harvey is an outspoken Christian. On Tuesday, the performer put his faith on full display with an Instagram post in which he explicitly praised God for his recent Daytime Emmy wins. Well, last night we won 2 Daytime Emmys: Outstanding Game Show Host for Family Feud and Outstanding Host of an Informative Talk Show for Steve Harvey. Harvey wrote in a caption of a photo featuring 2 Emmy Awards. Harvey continued, "God has been so good to me. Couldn't have done it without him, our amazing crews, and you. Thank you for all the support." Well, the post quickly amassed nearly 18,000 likes and attracted more than 600 comments. If you're unfamiliar with Harvey's background, his faith journey is a pretty stunning story about overcoming the odds and truly allowing God to change his heart. The comedian has openly discussed how he was once an unhappy college dropout living in a car, a far cry from the highly sought-after and famed performer he is today. Harvey said during a 2012 stand-up show, "God has given me a life far beyond anything I ever dreamed about. God is man. God is something else, man." That's his terminology. God is man. God is everything, man. That's Steve Harvey. I have to give respect for those folks who are in that industry that are not ashamed to admit the fact that they are Christian or anti-abortion or for family values. Many times they get blackballed, so to speak, when they have a Christian faith, but Steve Harvey apparently has risen to the point he's going to speak his faith, as does Charlie Daniels and others. Well, let's see what else is happening here. Wheaton College, this was a surprise to me. Wheaton College, which is a Christian university outside of Chicago, is again facing criticism, this time for a gay flag that someone allegedly put up in the college's dining room. Wheaton was recently embroiled in a controversy involving a professor who wore a hijab to show solidarity with Muslims and said that Christians and Muslims worship the same God. Well, that's not true. Now the school has again been accused of departing from biblical orthodox. In the column for Charisma News, conservative commentator Todd Starnes wrote that the mother of a Wheaton student sent him a photograph showing the gay pride flag flying alongside other flags in the college's dining hall. Starnes says the student's mother wrote, "When the gay pride flag flies at your Christian college, it is a direct attack on the Word of God. It's shameful. Wheaton has compromised with truth long ago and fears the wrath of media and gay students more than they fear the Lord God." So in a statement, Wheaton said the flag, which had been placed among a display of international flags that hang throughout the dining hall, was immediately removed from the display. The student's mother also noted that students who hold biblical views are afraid to speak out and receive criticism or to be reprimanded. Well, the fact they took it down is a good thing. They didn't leave it up, and it should not belong in a wall of international flags because it is not an international flag. It's an in-your-face flag is what that is. All righty, that's about it for today. We got a lot more stuff to pack up here, but we do have to hold that off to another time, another day.
What makes a good radio station? Local involvement, complete news coverage, sports, constant weather updates, talk shows, contests, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, I guess you're listening to it. WCAB.
Well, have a wonderful, wonderful, marvelous Monday. Folks, it's a beautiful day out there. Go out and enjoy the sun and enjoy your neighbors.
Sorrow, I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. For 6 long
And news. I'm Mike Rayleigh. A federal court in Virginia today hears arguments in President Trump's revised travel ban on visitors from a half dozen mostly Muslim nations. CBS's senior legal analyst Andrew Cohen.
Federal lawyers still will have to argue around the comments made by the president and his tribunes, each of whom are on the record with statements that suggest the intent behind the ban is discriminatory.